Well, thanks for anybody that tuned in. Looks like the severe weather has cleared most of northern Illinois and is moving now into northern Indiana. Just kind of looking at the weather maps over there. This thing has kind of turned into a pretty substantial derecho, so like really, really, really strong winds. There is still a couplet by Demort. Trying to kind of get a little better look at that. Um, just kind of out. Thankfully, it's kind of in a rural area, kind of by Demont. Um, Hebron, Demont, definitely in the line of fire for that. Still a very active couplet. So I would say there's probably an ongoing tornado there. And then it's just getting followed up and pushed along by this. There's thresholds for something to be a derecho, but this thing it's a QLCS that's turned into like completely linear, and it's got just mega winds. So you might as well consider that a tornado warning. So my parents that live in like Goshen, Indiana, um, there's a storm there that's got rotation by Gary, kind of moving in closer to South Bend. That's where that couplet is sort of heading. Um, Plymouth, probably New Paris, maybe. I don't think it's going to go as far north as Goshen, but it could. Um, Douglas, um, Dunlap, Howe, that area up into Sturgis, Michigan, and potentially even then Three Rivers. Watch out for that tight couplet there. That rotation has got a very strong hook echo on the radar. They're not warning very far ahead of it, but there's two areas of rotation, one to the south, which is a very bright couplet, one to the north, which is still, I would say, good enough to take shelter. I would definitely recommend taking shelter. Um, let's see kind of who's next on the block here. Yeah, pretty much Elkhart County. Um, Definitely Elkhart County is going to be in the line of fire. All of South Bend, pretty much all the way down to, let's see here, Lafayette is in the line of fire. Um, some fairly big cities there in front of this derecho. So that thing is just, I mean, it is just flying. We were down there when it was in south central or north central Illinois, and we got close to it. Was going to maybe try and intercept the tornado warning that was down there, and was getting close, and then suddenly it formed into a line. It overconvected, just like formed into a line, and I mean, it took off like a rocket ship. So if I hit the report, um, let's take a look here. I mean, it's going at 60 miles an hour right now. I mean, the storm motion itself, and I mean, wow. So I said the tornado warning for the main body of that is canceled. But I mean, those winds are going to be 70, 80 mile. I mean, 70 to 80 miles an hour, I'm guessing, just based on the velocity scans that we have. And then that other storm that's just, I mean, it's been a bizarre year. Like, I got to be honest, this is the first year I've really streamed anything. And um, I've never quite seen anything like this before. Just this year has been crazy, like 10-second tornadoes everywhere, and not a lot of your textbook kind of setups and storms and systems. It's been very erratic. And this just like this cluster um, that's kind of over there. Let's see, we've got a new fresh scan in. Yeah, that one that's going through Valparaiso, like that looks like a just looks like a shredder. I mean, this looks like a meat grinder. Um, there's still a very super tight couplet by Hebron, uh, which is ironic because the last time I saw a couplet like that was in Hebron, Kansas, maybe a month ago. Um, it's actually not irony, anyways. But that derecho is heading right behind it. So I don't know if that if those two storm systems will merge. The two areas of rotation have definitely merged, and it looks like it's diverting most of its energy to that southern supercell in that hook region. I mean, it's visible on radar. I don't I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit tighter here on the velocity. It's hard to tell. I don't think there's a debris signature at present, um, but it's really hard to tell right now. I mean, there's a tornado there. There's got to be. Let's see if they've got this thing observed. They're calling it radar. Oh, and it just got even brighter and tighter. So there's definitely a tornado there. Can't not be. Um, So in that area, definitely take cover. If you live in the South Bend area, um, take cover. Elkhart, Goshen, Dunlap, that whole area. I would just be ready. I would just be ready for. I mean, this could drop down in another radar scan, but it's got plenty of fuel ahead of it. It's been, there has been this environment, and we kind of knew it, but nothing has acted as I would guess. Like there's been no textbook anything. So I would still just, I would, even though it's getting dark, nocturnal tornadoes are definitely possible. And with all the energy that this has and has had, and with that extra push from that system, I mean, it definitely could carry on well into the twilight, and even potentially overnight hours. Now that'd be a long track for a single tornado, but that doesn't mean it can't recycle. Like I think it kind of has to, and really tighten that rotation up there by Hebron. That latest scan looks like there's a debris signature for sure. Okay, so there's got to be a tornado on the ground there. Um, let's pray for those people, and thankfully it looks like it's kind of going between towns. I don't know that area super well, but somewhat grew up close by there. My concern is definitely heightened for the South Bend Elkhart Goshen area because there's just so many people concentrated in that area. It's not rural, um, and and it would be definitely catastrophic for something to strike in those populated centers. I think there's been some small towns today that have definitely taken some hits, but we haven't really seen any major damage to any major metropolitan area. Praise God, but that this is real. This is something you need to take seriously. This is something you need to be prepared for. And I'm just going to continue to watch the scans as they come through as I'm driving, just because I do definitely have family there, and want to keep an eye on them. And even if you live there and this isn't right by you, like say it's north of you, and you're maybe in, you know, another community there. Um, like Mount Alp or something like that. That other storm system that's coming behind it is pushing, 70 to 80 mile an hour winds, which is basically an F0, F1 tornado, intensity winds. They're going to come through quicker. It's going to be more linear damage than what you would get with a tornado, but it would just be just as precautious. I would get to your innermost room. I would, if you don't have a basement, get into your bathroom. I know my parents, where they live, don't have a basement, so they typically go in the bathroom and wait it out. But um, it's definitely an area that has had tornadoes in the past. Been multiple outbreaks that have hit that area before, so definitely not out of the picture. I even see a couple of little bubblers south of that storm. I mean, there's just energy there. Seems to be um, still, yeah, there's still quite a bit of forcing. So I like this system. You just take it seriously. Don't ignore it. If you hear tornado sirens, definitely need to be getting in your safe spot. Thankfully, the National Weather Service has worked with a lot of cell phone carriers and manufacturers, and we get those nice emergency warnings. But don't just rely on that. Sign up with somebody like Ryan Hallweather or Max Velocity. Those guys. have set up bots and that will call you, text you, notify you. NOAA has an app, WeatherBug. Just make sure you have something that is got priority to push you notifications no matter what mode your phone is in. I know that when I travel, I'll put my phone in sleep mode sometimes or do not disturb. And when we chase tornadoes, and I'll get back to the hotel room and turn my do not disturb off, and I'll get all those National Weather Service alerts all at once. So we get six of them. My phone will just scream for like 2 3 minutes. All that to say, if you're one of those people that puts your phone on silent at nighttime, tonight's not the night to do that if you live in northern Indiana, southern Michigan. So just be weather aware. The system is coming through. It is no joke. I definitely uh, had the willingness to go behind this thing, but it just took off so incredibly fast. And just starting precipitation is going to just start to enter South Bend here shortly. The one thing I will say is it looks like this fast moving weather system looks like it will crash into it probably before it gets anywhere uh, super populated, but right before it crashes into it, it definitely has the potential to give it extra energy and really create a heck of a tornado there. So the couplet is already super tight. It's super intense on radar. I'm looking at the velocity scans. I'm just trying to check the new one and see here. I'm not seeing a debris signature at present, so that is a good thing. That doesn't mean there's no tornado; it just means that nothing's getting lofted up, sucked up by a tornado into the upper atmosphere, where the radar is hitting this at present. So I'm just gonna hope and pray that that big weather system crashes into that thing, and then all that's left is what we kind of call a big windbag, which is just a big line of a linear line of storms that does have the potential for damaging winds, but it's a little bit more predictable. It's a little bit more steady, and it's really fast moving, so it's not going to linger over an area very long. So that said, tornadoes can really crawl along sometimes 10, 20 miles an hour and just do a lot of damage in a specific area, whereas these bigger linear storms are just going to blow through quickly. So we're just going to keep an eye on that as the scans come in. I'll break in if it looks like. Oh, it's looking to see. No, no, haven't gotten a scan. It's been a few minutes. Should be getting one here really shortly. Oof, new radar scan coming in doesn't make me feel any better. I would say in that particular scan, definitely seeing some probably a debris signature there. So let's see what radar we're going off of here. We'll move over to the next rad here. That's not a very good picture of it. Really looking at that radar, the radar images from Chicagoland there. It's not quite close enough to the Fort, not quite close enough to Fort Wayne. This precipitation is still hauling along. There's definitely still a tornado there. Um, Not no heavily populated. There's another scan. Let's see what this thing looks like. It looks a little bit messier on the reflectivity, but the velocity still looks pretty tight. You're starting to get pressure from that storm coming behind it. But pretty much going through Chesterton right now is a fairly populated area. There's that northern area of rotation, but that seems to kind of die. Like, seems like the energy has really shifted to the southern part of that storm that's in Hebron right now. There were some tornado warnings in Ohio earlier today. Um, there's even one in far, like Grand Rapids, Michigan, um, which is up there a ways. I'm going to pull the KGR velocity just to see what that looks like. Hard to see. Definitely rotation there. Um, pull back over to Fort Wayne here. Another radar scan. Still definitely showing the rotation there, but it's not a good enough picture. I would say that on this latest velocity scan, it's definitely not as intense, but it's still there. I would say definitely still most likely a tornado there. We'll just continue to monitor these storms as they kind of blow through northern Indiana. Kenosha had a heck of a tornado warning, and there's a new tornado warning now in Aurora. Looks like it expires in 24 minutes. Radar indicated that's in that line of messy storms. Um, that's just south of Schaumburg, Illinois. It's moving at 45 miles an hour, sort of northeast. Um, Wheaton Downers Grove, Lombard, Woodridge, Glen. I mean, yeah, that area. I would say just monitor. I do see that also on the velocity scan of being a legitimate. And then there's just a smaller area of rotation there in Schaumburg. There's a tornado warning there. I'm going to guess they're going to let that expire. I see the hook echo on the reflectivity scan, but just sort of a weak broad area of rotation on velocity. Whereas the one that's a little bit closer to Naperville right now, you can see something that could resemble a couplet. New radar scan coming in. Um, could be. It's a could be. Um, Schaumburg, I'm not as convinced, but that couplet now with the new radar scan. Um, wow, just kind of pitching straight west at this point. So if that's rooted and pushing straight west, that kind of gives me more of an indication that that would be on the ground. So um, Knox, Plymouth, Indiana, I would just get ready. Um, so just south of Valparaiso, but there's still a rotation up in Chesterton area, Michigan City. Still see a hook echo on the reflectivity. Um, it's definitely not as pronounced as what we're seeing just just east of Hebron, heading towards Knox, Indiana. I don't think there's La Crosse, Indiana, a smaller town. Um, it's still green to red, red to green, green to red. So and potentially some debris still up in the atmosphere there, and also a sort of a hole in the reflectivity. So I would say definitely still ongoing. Would take cover um, if you're in Touts. If you're in La Crosse, it's definitely time to get to safety. And pushing south of that big straight line winds and a lot of lightning, lot of precipitation with that big storm coming behind it. I I don't get to judge what's a derecho and what's not, but that bow echo that's coming is going to pack a wallop. So Um, it's kind of a strange, must be some kind of interference there north of Joliet. Really hard to tell there. And Wheaton, the Storm and Aurora still has some funky motion in it. That one is just west of Aurora. Still got some funny business going on there. But hopefully, a few more scans and it'll just be severe thunderstorm warned in that area. And uh, we still got about 3 hours on the road for me. Got home last night at about 2:45 in the morning. Crashed out. I had to get up at 7 to get kids ready for VBS. So they had an enjoyable day. Got to do a little swimming while the temperatures were pretty high where we live in central Wisconsin. And after these storms blow through, the next couple of days are looking to be just really nice. So you can just tell the motion of these clouds. There is this individual cell in Winnemac, Indiana. It's kind of south of that larger area of rotation that's just starting to develop. Some of these storms coming ahead of this system, they're getting a lot of push, and there's still a lot of potential energy, a lot of convective available potential energy in this region. So don't go to sleep and not have your phones on. I want to see what that would potentially impact a little bit further south, like Rochester, Indiana, more towards Warsaw. See, latest radar scan still showing an intense couplet, and that storm in Winnemac is just continuing to grow. So I'm gonna just put down our layers here. Let's see. Yeah, it's developing some. Already started a couple developing some lightning there. All these storms that are pushing east are lightning packed. So if you are laying down to go to sleep, um, it's gonna be rumbling here for a while, and this will rumble as this storm continues to get more linear and push east. I think through uh, pretty much through all of northern Indiana, even down like all the way into Terre Haute, Bloomington, um, Kokomo, Fort Wayne, all that area. Don't plan on taking a nap anytime soon. Indianapolis is definitely on the southern edge of that Bow Echo, so just use use caution. Don't ignore the weather warnings because it's still real. Right lane closed. Okay. It'll give me 2.5 miles. That's kind. And I will break in again if anything changes with this system. I will say, I mean, I gotta get rid of my lightning strikes here. On this latest scan, that couplet that is just south of Valparaiso on velocity is still there, and there's still a hook echo on the like an inflow notch there. It's still real, but I will say it does look like it may have weakened a little bit. So that is a good thing if you are in that area for sure. Um, Juanita, Hannah, Lacrosse. Definitely be prepared. This should be hitting Couts now. It should be right in that region right now, right in that community. Again, that storm in Winnemac also I would not ignore. Ooh, actually intensified on this latest scan. Kind of strange there. Move here. I think they are intending us to go to 55, but the wind must have come through this area here. Wow. Yeah, all the signs that are on the sides of the roads here just pretty well pushed over. Um, but I'm thinking their intent is for us to slow her down to 55. Latest reflectivity scan, and oh boy, and our velocity still going just north of Couts right now. If you're in Hannah, definitely be getting ready to take. I mean, just take cover now. I can't see that not being a tornado. I don't see a debris signature, but better be safe than sorry. It's definitely a tornado. Not. I don't know if there's. I don't think there's anybody chasing this right now. It is observed. It is observed that there's a tornado on the ground in that area. So Lacrosse, Santa, it's time to take cover. Take this seriously. This is a real, legitimate threat to your safety. Signs in the middle of the road here. Must have had some straight line winds where we're driving because all the exit signs and barrels and everything are all rolled over. Saw a police officer had someone pulled over for speeding. I would maybe come and pick up these signs. That storm just outside of Winnemac is growing in intensity as well. And that line of thunderstorms is not as straight as it was. So I'm going to guess a little bit less on the straight line winds. But if it slows down enough where you can start to get some of these notches, you can start to get some of these QLS spin ups and um, have yourselves, uh, guess you could call it an outbreak of weaker tornadoes. Keep an eye on this. If you're in South Bend, Lakesville, Plymouth, Goshen, Elkhart, Napanee, it'd be time to be really tuned in. Granger, you're kind of next up on the wheel here with South Bend. The storm is moving north northeast, or sorry, east northeast, I should say. Just a little bit of northern motion on it, but that couplet seems to be fairly persistent to the west. So that tells me that it's probably that storm is well rooted. We'll just keep an eye on it here. Where we're at here in Mendota, Illinois, these clouds are cruising. So that storm system is pulling these clouds right along. So there is just a lot of, see what the temperature is here. That's still 74. That's kind of amazing. I think that cold front would have crashed through here already. Look at my WeatherWise app because I have the fronts on that. Well, I guess it still hasn't come crashing through yet. That's probably why this storm system is still as potent as it is. A lot of the chasers going home. I think tomorrow's kind of a safe to say day off for most of the guys and gals out chasing. Well, that frontal boundary is slowed a little bit, so that's probably why these storms are still. I have no idea how, but Brent Arnold has somehow stayed ahead of this storm system. Um, Probably by not pursuing the other storms up by Valparaiso. These guy had to be really hoofing it to get up there. Go back and see what the latest scans show. A little bit of weakening in that couplet. That's a good thing to see. Um, this is entering into Lacrosse now. Harris, Kingsford Heights, that area all needs to be prepared. Really, if you're anywhere in northern Indiana, southern Michigan, and I should say all the way Indiana, all the way down to Indianapolis, really for this big storm system that's coming through. But just also paying closer attention to that storm that's just by La Crosse, Indiana, coming into Hannah, next Kingston Heights, Hamlet. This is pretty long track. This has been a lot of scans here that it's been positive on both reflectivity and velocity imaging. So I would wager that this has been a long track tornado, which was supposed to be in starting in Iowa, going into south central Illinois, or sorry, um, pretty much all throughout northern central Illinois. Uh, Weather pattern changed on us a little bit. So it's been just kind of that kind of year. Um, Yesterday we thought probably Dubuque maybe down to Des Moines would have some pretty potent storms last night, and it turned out that it was actually all down in Missouri. So we ended up down in northern central Missouri. That is a long drive. Makes this one feel like a cakewalk. Or are they closing the right hand lane again and dropping it down? I'm not sure why they wouldn't just close this. Why I'm glad I'm not a government employee. This kind of stuff drives me bananas. Get about 2 miles of, they can go around me in the right hand lane if they really need to get somewhere fast. There they go. Even though it says drop speed limit down to 55. Oh, it's a Wisconsin. Oh, it's a fellow Wisconsinite. Uh oh. I was going to make fun of Illinois drivers there for a minute. That couplet's still hanging on. My goodness. And the reflectivity scan also agrees. Uh, and that there's another cell just south of Culver I'm keeping an eye on. It continues to grow. A couple more lightning strikes. Don't know if there's enough to really jumpstart that thing or not, but Wanatana, Hannah, Kingsford Heights, definitely an increased area of rotation to the north and the south of you there if you're in Kingsford Heights. I just take shelter now. It's definitely a dangerous situation. This is a life threatening situation. This is an observed tornado. So that means it's been seen. It's a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. Again, it was over Couts, 8 miles east of Hebron. This is a particularly dangerous situation. This is not just a radar indicated tornado. This is a large confirmed tornado. You guys need to be taking shelter now. Those of you that are west of there, or sorry, east of there, need to be thinking about that. That would include South Bend, Goshen, Elkhart, Wakarusa, Dappanee, pretty much anywhere over in that area, Lakesville, Plymouth. Just be ready, be weather ready, and have. If you don't know what you do in a tornado, you need to figure it out now because this is just not letting up, not letting off the gas pedal here. Area of rotation is broadening a fair amount. Oh, my eyeballs. Where do I adjust on this one? I'll drop lightning off here. I'm gonna kind of hone in on this and see if I can bring this onto the screen. Radar Scope is okay with sharing their images, so I'm gonna pop this open. Should be under Radar Scope. Let's see if I can get this to get down smaller a little bit. So to interrupt my drive stream on the live stream, just going to show you that's that area of rotation there. And let me click off the radar sites here, but you can kind of see where you are at in comparison to this storm. This is a very extremely dangerous situation, particularly dangerous situation if you live in this area. Again, Hannah is kind of next up on the deck here. I'm gonna move my tablet display here. Go to my tablet mount. See where I am here. Matana Hana kind of rhymes a little bit. Definitely still very much an alive and well signature on the radar. Um, gonna let some of these people get around me here. Some new latest radar scan coming in here should refresh on the screen shortly. Yeah, still a very much. This has just been a long track, very dangerous tornado. Uh, again, observed. It's not just something that we're seeing on the radar screen, but something that a trained spotter has observed and sees. I'm gonna just so that I know that this is getting across. I'm gonna just close this down here a little bit so that it puts on the screen better. To go down even smaller. I'm not sure why that was zoomed in so big. Another radar scan just came in. Oops. Wow. Yeah, that is an intense area of rotation there. It looks like it's broadened a little bit, like it's a larger area of rotation, which means either it's a larger tornado or it's starting to weaken. But I mean, when you look at the on the reflectivity side, I mean, this is picture perfect textbook tornado here. Um, Click off of there. So I don't know if, yeah, okay. So we do still have audio. Hello. Hi, honey. It's going good. I'm just driving home. Kind of just watching the weather getting closer to my parents' house. Everybody situated. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I think I found three of the pillows, or two of the pillows at least, that were ours are in a tent in our backyard. Oh, yes. No, they're done for. I don't think you got time. I mean, there's that one that's on my side of the bed that's kind of softer that can be used. I can use a more firm pillow. No, I'm just saying either one of those. There's two that are on my side of the bed. There's the one that's um, kind of beside the bed, and the one that's on my side of the bed. Doesn't matter to me. Yes, indeed. Okay.